Greetings, loyal viewers. Let me introduce myself. I am Compass Cat 2 and will be assuming all duties of my predecessor, Compass Cat, who in November left this crazy world to chase birds and butterflies and enjoy catnip at his pleasure in cat nirvana. My role on this channel representing the Undertaker Navigator will be similar to a White House press secretary and a White House chief of staff. I bring my additional talent of creating unique and original memes aided by my presence on X.com and my utilization of Grok 3. Therefore my debut video features a dozen or so of my creations in chronological order to the best of my recollection. So let's get started. Of course my first meme centers on the former First and now Worst Lady, Hillary Rotten Clinton, and one of her many illegal activities. She really should write a how-to book entitled 50 Ways to Obstruct Justice and Get Away with No Consequences. Trump wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. Hillary could and should write a book entitled The Art of the Character Assassination. Obviously Mrs. Clinton hasn't just left a trail of crumbs leading to her evil doings, she has spilled a semi-truckload of loaves of bread, providing me with a wealth of material for future memes, and I am thankful for her generosity. Presently I will be giving Bill Clinton a respite in this first round of memes, but we will eventually examine his peccadillos. You will have to admit that the left and the Democratic Party have created mountains of material for memes and much has already been thoroughly examined, so I will focus on the most current events and that will be presented by the latter half of my first exhibition, and I hope you will enjoy. Let's move on to our number 2 subject, Barack Obama. One word describes Obama's 8 years as our president: disappointment. We erroneously thought that he would inspire a majority of the young Afro-American males in the United States to strive for success through hard work, discipline, and persistence. Through his success, we hoped that they could find a positive role model, gain a positive attitude and realization that they live in the greatest place for opportunity for anyone in the world. What we got was a naive race baiter using the Justice Department and the IRS to target his political opposition. Obama helped create the view that 50%, or thereabouts, were not the opposition politically, they were the opponents, the enemy that must be destroyed with the attitude, the end justifies the means. When it comes to dirty tricks, the Democrats clearly make Richard Nixon look like an amateur. By now you should have guessed what the theme of most of these memes is going to be. I know she's old hat, old like over 80, but she is still scratching for power and of course inside information. Now Nancy is a little more than nervous since Doge may interfere with her revenue streams. She could co-author Hillary's how-to book and maybe even double the 50 ways to obstruct justice and suffer no consequences. Part of my main menu will be numerous international awards for various titles, and like in various sports, I will try to update our viewers with current rankings in these different infamous categories. The next meme announces the first of these awards, and miraculously it was a dead heat tie for the top spot. 2 congressmen won. Oh, I'm sorry, Congress people, so-called representatives, boy is that a stretch. No doubt these two will provide a plethora of material for future memes. Here's a picture Eric Swalwell and his wife, a very attractive lady, and an additional picture of good old Eric and Fing Fang, the alleged Chinese spy, who I'd find it very hard to call a looker. A similar sounding word would be a more accurate descriptive. AOC pulled into the tie at the last second by calling Elon Musk a stupid person. Both these two recipients are clearly infected with the woke mind virus, however, as Christians, we should pray for them. And the beat goes on. Coming soon to this channel will be the International Award for Race Baiting, and our next subject is currently leading that field. He has maintained a consistent lead for some time now. So we honor him with this next meme. Reverend Earl is being chased by Maxine Waters, Jesse Jackson, Obama, The View, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, Fading Fast, and Michelle, Big Mike, Obama. Most of the CNN competitors have been fired or demoted, thus neutering their chances. There are many more too numerous to mention and not nearly as skilled as these aforementioned culprits. So as we move on to 2025, my memes will get closer to current events. Most of us know that California is the mecca of the woke mind virus and Trump derangement syndrome. If Mayor Karen Bass had had more time, she might have been a leading candidate for the International Dumbass Award, but she just hasn't had quite enough exposure. However, in January she almost made up enough ground to be competitive with the two winners, but her stupidity is confined to Southern California, thank God for that. What an appropriate first name, Karen, absentee mayor of Los Angeles. Not everyone can screw up a city and a state and emerge as a potential presidential candidate in 2028. If I had to define him in one word, it would be audacity. There is an old saying that is about as true as old sayings can be: you get what you pay for. I will modify that for all of the wayward blue cities and states in that they are getting what they vote for. It is mind-boggling how voters in California, New York, Illinois that is dominated by Chicago, Washington dominated by Seattle, Oregon dominated by Portland, Maryland dominated by Baltimore, and the rest of the blue states and cities in our country can continue to vote in such incompetent so-called leaders thinking they're going to get better results. Insanity is defined as doing the same thing over and over again and thinking future outcomes are going to get better, a mindset thoroughly devoid of common sense, amazing stupidity. Even Maine has succumbed to this insanity. I must now feature the current leader for bold-faced liar and perfect example of how someone can keep rising to their level of incompetence, or maybe we should say level of competent destruction. He leads in the race for first place in our National POS Award, but as long as Putin is alive, Adam has no chance of winning internationally. It would bring much joy if this meme actually becomes reality, but don't hold your breath. He too is well schooled in how to obstruct justice and suffer no consequences. Unbelievable. He has diligently earned his moniker, Shifty Schiff, and wears it proudly. A real piece of work is the senior senator from the state of New York, Chuck Schumer. He is the Democratic leader in charge of obstructionism, and he has worked at it mightily over decades. I really think he would have trouble pointing out 5 things he has done that have truly benefited the American people. So I decided to feature him in a couple of memes that relate to current events, particularly the question of whether there's any gold in Fort Knox or not. It is hard to believe there are unnamed bureaucrats that have been able to keep presidents, senators, congressional representatives, Supreme Court judges, and cabinet members from just entering the Fort Knox depository, yet allowing an audit of our nation's gold for more than 70 years. No one seems to know if there's any sort of an accounting system for tracking the billions of dollars supposedly stored in Fort Knox. So I had to create some memes that reflected upon this black hole of knowledge regarding our gold. I may not be too far off. Hopefully we'll find out this year if Doge can manage to gain access to do an audit. Let's wish them good luck. We come to the final meme, prepared only a day after it reflects on a disappointing meeting at the White House involving the Ukrainian President Zelensky, President Donald Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance. I feel it reflects the true status of the situation as well as any meme currently emerging on the internet. I'll let you all be the judge of that. I hope our viewers have a good sense of humor and that at least half of you can laugh and enjoy this shift in content from the Undertaker Navigator and myself, sincerely Compass Cat 2. Hopefully we will bring you many more poignant memes that are truly relevant. All feedback is welcome at darreluss@gmail.com.